Do you want to know why motherhood is devalued? Because it is. People are devaluing motherhood at a rapid rate. I am Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all about family and parenting, good communication through the lens of the principle self-government. I also head an international women's organization called the Worldwide Organization for Women. And I have noticed that the trend to devalue motherhood is increasing, and we've got to do something now. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why motherhood is being devalued and what we can do to stop that trend. Mothers are the most powerful people in society, so that's why you want to take them down if you want to control society. It makes logical sense. Mothers literally script the hearts and minds of their children. They get to form them bit by bit, experience, by conversation and cuddle. And when the children are cuddling and conversing with mom, they are learning what type of person to become. Mother has that type of pull and strength. So if I want to be in control of family because I don't like how mothers are leading children to all of these values and virtues and morals and beliefs, then I've got to take down mother, right? Well, that's exactly what's happening. Now, I'm not going to pinpoint names of people that are behind it. I have identified over the years certain organizations that do seem to be pretty heavily invested in trying to take down mother and their identity. And most of those people end up trending toward abortion clinics. However, there are some people that are just useful idiots, and they end up, like Marx said when he coined that phrase, useful idiots, just following suit with a dialogue that seems like it's supposed to be empowering women as they're at the same time tearing down their own value as mothers. Sometimes even mothers are devaluing themselves. Sometimes even mothers are giving the message to their children, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have had these kids. This is the worst thing forever. You should not do the same thing I did and have a family. They don't realize they're giving that message, but they are. One time when I was pregnant with my fourth child, my husband and I went on a trip to Williamsburg, Virginia. And while we were there, we decided to go and see a play in the town of Williamsburg. And while we were sitting there waiting for the play to begin, a group of co-eds from probably William and Mary University or something that was right there came and sat behind us. So a whole bunch of young girls. Now keep in mind, I am fat, right? Clearly, very obviously pregnant, okay? And these girls right behind me and my husband start talking about having babies and about moms. And they said, one of them said to the group, she was clearly kind of the ringleader. She said, well, I'm not choosing to have any children. A woman who chooses to have a child is mentally disturbed. Wow, I thought, I got to hear this because clearly they're looking at me thinking I'm mentally disturbed because clearly I am with child, right? I couldn't believe they were saying that right behind my head. I thought, how brazen are these girls? But anyway, I listened, and one of them was like, oh yeah, any person who wants to become a victim as a mother, then they really don't have their mental abilities straightened out, right? And they're talking about all these things that they've seen. Oh, my mother hated being a mother, says one of the girls. I thought, this is crazy. What if your mother never birthed you? What if, I'm thinking these thoughts in my head, right? Just wondering how in the world a person gets to that place where they devalue their own mother. Well, the girl gave the idea right there. My mother hated being a mother. So that's why she's willing to follow this dialogue. I noticed there were a couple of girls who didn't say anything. And I thought, they're making up their minds. They're making up their minds. They're wondering if all of this stuff about, mothers or people who choose to be mothers being mental cases is actually true or not. And maybe at one point they were little and they wanted to have a family. And now are they willing to completely give up on that? And I watched them decide. This is the type of social vice that the girls are stuck in right now. And that was years ago. My baby has now graduated and moved on from my home. All of my children are adults. The fight against motherhood is even more severe now. There are movements that suggest that if a woman isn't getting paid every day for her work, then she's not being valued as a good little citizen. Well, that's just communism, right? In the true communist model, a woman gets told, oh, you get to have a baby this year, or you can be one of those birth mothers for a certain period of time. We'll pay your way. Then you can move on and contribute to society in a different way. That's just all communism. And so women are totally disvalued just by people thinking that they want to value them. By suggesting that a woman's biology is nothing more than a hindrance, nothing more than something that gets in the way of her fun, is a serious problem. So there are movements that are pushing against women, that are pushing against mother, and it's the woman that gets attacked because it's the mother who really needs to be attacked if you're going to take over the world, right? I have a few more ideas for you about how mothers are attacked and devalued and what we can then do about it. But before I do, leave me a comment. There are so many things that you must have noticed that are devaluing motherhood. Have you noticed it in Hollywood? Have you noticed it in your neighborhood? Have you ever been surprised at how motherhood is devalued? Leave me a comment and share with me what you've seen. I think that the more we can share what we see, the more people's eyes can be opened. Historically, men have been seen as the money makers, right? We're going way, way back. Okay, the men make money. And actually, if you go way, 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 way back, no, it's always been a couple, a companionship working together to provide for their family. They work the land, work the farm. The women and the men both work in the field and they take care of the family. But then we got into modern history, the age of the industrial age, when all of a sudden now it's factories and stuff like that. And okay, so now the men are going to go out to the factories. They're going to make money, bring it home to the woman instead of earning the money right on the land, right? And the fact that he will bring home the money to the woman, give it to the woman, give it to the family, is actually him honoring motherhood, him honoring her right, her mother right to care for the children. He's honoring his children and his wife because he is going out and working away from the family the entire day. But this was historically seen as a slam to women, especially right around the late 1960s, early 1970s. People started creating this dialogue that somehow women were oppressed because they weren't getting paid, which really is just, again, a communist idea. But this is what happened. So things that women cared about, like maybe sewing clothes or baking goods or, creating certain handicrafts or whatever, those things were seen as hobbies, or chores, if somebody likes organizing or cleaning or whatever, and not a value to society. Right? Even though you are literally working your hands to the bone as a mother all day long, doing all this kinds of works, it can't be valued without a paycheck. How crazy is that? So anyway, that's how people started seeing it. So then this made it so that people bought into this dialogue that if somebody is valued, they must be paid for it. There must be some sort of compensation or at least some notoriety socially that happens. But all of mother's accolades happen privately. Her husband tells her, our children are the way they are because of you, sweetie. You did this, which is what my husband told me. When he talks about our children, he says, we've raised really great children, and I have to give all the glory to you, honey, because you did it. You made sure that they became the people they were supposed to be. Those are private moments. Those are accolades no one ever can replace with a paycheck or anything like that. And so people want the public praise. Well, where's the public praise of motherhood? Well, people tried to make, Mother's Day for public praise of motherhood. And that's great. And we should celebrate it. But in the end, it's the little card that's given, the little note, the little hug that really means the most to the mother's heart. And those will always be the private moments, not the public moments. She gives publicly, privately, all the ways, but it is the private things that matter the most to her, the little kind words or statements. How horrible is it then that we are training a generation of women and men who think that mothers are somehow a lesser member of society, when in reality they are the greatest. The training is happening in schools, the training is happening online. Definitely, the media is getting involved in this. Hollywood does not portray mother as a great and wise character usually, and certainly not father. Oh my goodness, he's a buffoon, right? But mother is usually portrayed as some socially smart person, right? Or a person who complains about everything that happens with the kids all the time and she just can't wait to get her nails done or fluff her hair a little bit. Mother is portrayed as a teenager who has to raise these kids, and dad is portrayed as this, idiot who can't do anything right. So we are not giving the right messages at all to our children about women or men, mothers or fathers, and this is becoming a really big problem. Also, women are not talking enough good about being mothers. So why is it? Are women ashamed of their biology? They absolutely should not be. A man cannot create or birth a body within his own body. It can't happen. Women have this huge power inside to be able to create life. Nobody else can do that. No one. That's enormous. Try as any man might, he can't do it. Someone can declare themselves a mother, but if they really can't do that, are they? They can try to do a whole bunch of the other things, but it's that biology that sets the mother apart. And we keep disregarding it, pushing it off. The sexual movements that have hit our society really do suggest that anybody can become a mother if they want to, and that the biology is a hindrance and should be taken care of. That we should get rid of the fruits of the biology if they get in the way of living our life. All of those types of things are things that suggest that mother isn't valuable when she is. So there are a lot of different messages that come in. And even when our children are taking sex education classes at school, they present becoming a mother as if it is a bad thing. It's not ever talked about as if it is a good thing. It's always prevention, 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 which you understand at their age, but who's going to ever give them the message that this is one of the most joyful things that you could do in your life? Well, it's the parents that have to do that. So that brings us to what we need to do. As parents, as husbands and wives, mothers and fathers, we need to make sure that we talk good about what we're doing, that we help our children understand the value of our roles, and that we teach them that we love this. Even on the hard days, we have to love it. We have to choose it, which means that we have to choose to be calm sometimes when it's a hard day or somebody's acting out, because they're not perfect every day, right? They're not perfect. But don't worry, we're not making perfect children. Those are impossible to make. That goes against the whole nature of being a child. What we're making is we're making joyful adults who know what their mission in life is and can't wait to fight for it and have solid relationships with goodness and with family. Hopefully that's what we're making in our homes. And if that's the case, then we can love it and we can choose calmness every day. I could go on about this topic for so long. I love mothers so much because motherhood truly is the power that holds society together. If you want to be better at being a mother or a father, or truly any role that you might possess, I have a gift for you. It's a Calm Parenting Toolkit. And these tools of calmness can be useful no matter whether you have children or not. There are 10 lessons in this Calm Parenting Toolkit, and I want to give them to you for free. It's a mini course, so you can start on your way to valuing yourself and to bonding more with your family members. So in the description below this video, there is a link that says teachselfgov.com/toolkit. Click on that link now, and you will get the Calm Parenting Toolkit for free. I'll see you there.